Yo, it's your boy Caswell with The Silent, a podcast, and man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that, hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe if you got that time. And for this, let's get straight into it. The path to be feared again. The path to be feared again for Mr. Martin Bakole. Taking that draw against Efe Ajagaba, taking a loss to Joseph Parker. Nothing to be ashamed about. But as the sport of boxing goes, you see many other podcasts, many fans questioning the boogeyman status of Martin Bakole. And I guess rightfully so. Yeah. Is he the man? Is he really who they said he is? Is he really just a sparring phenom? Or can he cross over into the heavyweight professional realm and be that top contender, be that man, be the boogeyman that we need him to be? So how does he get back? How does he get his name back? How does he get to be feared again in the sport of boxing? Better yet, the heavyweight division. This is going to be quick, straight to the point, and simple, because I think it's really easy for Martin Bakole to get this back. Easy in terms of planning, but it's going to be hard to execute. Number one, I think we all know Mr. Martin Bakole's got to get that rematch. He's got to go get it back in blood. He's got to go get back with Efe Ajagaba. They got to run it back. And that's if Efe even wants to get back in the ring with Martin Bakole. Why do I say that? You saw how the first half of that fight went. Just how we thought it would. A good heavyweight slugfest between two punchers. Martin Bakole got the better in that category, hitting Efe many of times and almost dropped him. You saw Efe switch the game plan in the back half of that fight and start moving that leg work. Again, I was impressed. Pumping the jab, staying out the way, moving around. Martin Bakole begging him to stay still or come and fight. Smart move on the likes of Efe Ajagaba, but it did let me know something. It let me know you felt the power of Martin Bakole and you felt them shots and you couldn't see some of them as they were sneaky. Again, Martin is slow, but his hands are quick. But either way, if Efe comes back to fight Martin Bakole again, I think he will, but we'll see. That second half of that fight showed, I don't know if he wants to deal with that power again, but maybe he knows how to beat him now, which leads into the boogeyman status, right? Bakole's slow, footwork slow, can't cut off the ring. If you can move and pump the jab and fight and throw in some good blows, you can probably beat Martin Bakole. That's how it appears to be, right? Joseph Parker knocked him out pretty quick. Obviously coming off of just a long layoff, vacationing, eating up, didn't get his conditioning right. But then you see what Efe did in the back half of that fight. It kind of made sense that Bakole's got to work on that weight, get that weight down and move around, right? So the first step, obviously, get back, get that blood back, get that fight back, show that you can move, get back into the gym, lose that weight, work on your footwork, work on cutting off the ring. Not everybody's just going to stand there and trade. We would love to see that as fight fans. That's entertaining, right? Sometimes. But you got to show that you got levels to your game to be feared, to be the boogeyman in the division. Show that you can actually move. Take prime example from Canelo Alvarez. Footwork is cemented. Very slow, very methodical. But at the same time, Canelo Alvarez is decent at cutting off the ring of the faster moving fighters and get his blows in there. He moves around. Now, obviously, some situations Canelo can't catch him. It is what it is. His speed is what it is. His game plan is what it is. He does that cemented style so he can get off his shots. But he at least has an opportunity to get in there and at least get some body work going time and time again until he slows his man down. Martin Bakole, you have the same opportunity, but you got to lose that weight, get down and get down right. Get in there and clean up the field with Efe Ajagaba. Get back, get him up out of there. I think you can knock him out. I think you can bring the violence. I think you can bring the war and get him out of there and place him down. You got to do that first. You got to clear the questions and the cobwebs and the downing from that event to show that you can actually box, more importantly. We all know you got power. We all know you got pop. But can you actually get your opponent, go get your opposition up out of there in a better way than just slugging it out? Can you move? After you clear out Efe Ajagaba, if that happens again, then you go take on a name. I don't think you go back to take on Joseph Parker, and I don't think Joseph Parker's gonna come back to fight you anyways because of his position. He's lined up for a championship fight. I think you go knock off the likes of Filip Hrgović, who's sitting there prime position, top contender status. Just got done beating Joe Joyce. Footwork's not as fast either. He's a good boxer, but it's not. I don't think he's going to move a whole lot, just like what Efe did. But again, we could be wrong. Efe surprised us. Go knock off a man like Filip Hrgović, get that in there, and knock him out in fashion. Daniel Dubois was able to do it. I believe you can as well, but do not get it twisted. Filip can pop. Filip has a nice overhand right, and you, my man, need to get your head off the line, and that's the second point here. Show in that fight, or even in the Efe fight, show you can get your head off the line. Show that you can move around, at least at the hips and at least at the neck and shoulders, to get out of the way of punches. Don't stand in front and just get hit and accept the punches because you're a big man. Show that you can got some head movement. Show that you got some good defense. That's step 2 to rebuilding your image and rebuilding you as the most feared fighter in the heavyweight division and most ducked fighter in the division. After that, beat the likes of Filip Hrgović. Now you're in contender status. Now you're ready to go. Now let's say you can't get Filip Hrgović, then I think you take on a guy like Moses Atamo. You were rumored to get that on, but right now I believe Dillian White's front and center for that. Assuming he gets past Dillian White, you beat Efe Ajagaba. You can't get Filip Hrgović. I can see Moses Atamo and you getting it on late 2025, early 2026. Now you might be saying, how does this rebuild the image of a feared boogeyman, especially when it's a prospect coming up to contender status? It's because of who Mr. Moses Atamo is. He's a name, first of all, but more importantly, being built as the next coming. And what better way to snatch back your glory, snatch back your persona than stopping the next great heavyweight in their tracks and putting them in their place? That's one way you can become the legend killer, the man who rebuilt himself, the man who really is that guy who had just a bad stint right there, the man that you don't want to see in the heavyweight division, the man who stopped a young warrior who's age 20, 21, moving up, knocking all these guys out, smart, good ring IQ, stopped him in his place, beat him, and beat him well. That's one good way to snatch back that glory, snatch back your image, and rebuild yourself. Again, that's if you cannot get the Filip Hrgović fight, and obviously after fighting Efe for that rematch. One of those need to be your next 2 fights, right? Efe, Filip Hrgović, in my personal opinion, should be it, or Efe, Moses Atamo. Now, there's some other good options out there. Some other good names getting thrown around. I believe Ajit Kabayel is still available. If you really want to get that name back, Ajit Kabayel is somebody. If you can beat him, yeah, you've got it. Because he's a bad boy and a bad man, and he's a problem in the heavyweight division himself. And right now is riding on the high by knocking out some of the top guys and stopping them in fashion. And he will get in there and trade with you. That would be a hell of a fight and a fight of the year contender between Martin Bakole and Ajit Kabayel. But with that said, right now, you got to get that Efe first, because I don't think you're ready for Ajit Kabayel. I got him at number, you can trade him and Joseph Parker 3 and 4. I got Parker personally above him, but he's top. He's top contender status, and more importantly, he's on the high right now. He's a good boxer, and he's got good power as well. That's a dangerous fight for you, and could really probably end your career if he gets up there and get with you right. But like I said, follow that road back to greatness. Follow that road back to being feared. Efe, Filip Hrgović, Efe, Moses Atamo, one of those 2 routes. But if you really want to get nasty with it, slip in a Ajit Kabayel to see where that flies. Anyways, we talked way too long on this, man. It's your boy Cal's Real with the Sign 8 podcast. Hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe if you got that time. We appreciate that love. Till the next time. Peace.